Hey, Acers. Yes, we're talking about death that is coming for your character in today's Savage Worlds short and discussion for the Ace Role Playing Games channel as I teach you how to run the Savage Worlds role playing game. This time we're going to talk about disease. So it covers a wide range of maladies, long-term debilitating illnesses, spasms or death. It just different things, and I've said too many times. I apologize, but I'm working on it. Anyway, we're going to talk though about how to run disease in your Savage Worlds role-playing game. Disease is going to affect your characters in different ways, and some diseases can be cured. But what happens is when diseases are contracted through the vectors, and that's where Savage Worlds is looking correctly at this. Airborne, source of ingestion, touch, bite, in bite of a creature that causes a wound or a shaken result. In any of those situations, the victim needs to make a vigor roll to avoid infection. Sometimes the poison or the toxin that causes the disease is actually going to even do more than just make it just a vigor roll. Sometimes it's a poison that hits you, and then another one, and we'll get to that when we talk about poisons. But I'm going to start breaking these out, and I'm going to try and do shorter videos from here on out as far as how to handle it, so you can just turn to this video when you're ready to talk about disease. And eventually, I'm planning on, and I hope I can do it right, on remaking some of the earlier videos. Excuse me. With just one section per video. So to recover from from diseases, they can only be cured by waiting until they've run their course or with specific medications. Whether or not those are available depends on the setting. And the symptoms can be treated by common medicines. However, with a successful healing roll, the doctor, physician, shaman, whatever, can prescribe or create a treatment. They may attempt to do so once per day. Each application of the treatment reduces fatigue by one level for a few hours. Now, Savage Worlds deals with this disease idea in a really interesting way, because some of these diseases cause wounds while you're being active. Some of these diseases could cause death that episode. So in Deadlands, there's a chance, I'm just not going to worry about pulling it up right now. In Deadlands, there's a chance, though, that you have a disease that if you don't take care of it, or just because of the disease you have, could be cancer, could be whatever, you roll at the beginning of the session. If you fail the roll, your vigor roll, and it gets harder sometimes to make that vigor roll, you can have a player die right there at the end of the episode. Now, or at the end of the session. Now, here's a thing to do, though. If you have someone who's dying like that, you can get them to have a major top of the line go out party. They can end up dying, but not dying in a harsh way or a wasted way, but they actually go out in a blaze of glory, or they get to at least say something before they pass on in the game. So disease is one of those hazards that you run into in being an adventurer. And sometimes the disease could be getting hit with an aerosolized thing of, if you're playing a cop game, you could get hit by an aerosol thing of fentanyl. And that would definitely give your cop a hard time. It actually happens in in an episode of a TV series that is really well done. I won't say it's really good for you guys, because I want you to be teens still, and I want you to have fun being teens. I want you to enjoy your life right now, because now is the time to enjoy it. And then tomorrow will be the day to enjoy tomorrow. and be happy with who you are and where you are. But in one episode of a series called Bosch, they are going through and investigating a garage, and they find this box and they open it up and it whiffs some fentanyl out, and it almost kills a poor police officer because fentanyl is such a powerful drug. And so there are so many other drugs like that. In a book that I read called The Ambler Warning by Robert Ludlum, the same guy who wrote The Bourne Identity, which if you're over 13 and your parents are okay with it, The Bourne Identity, the first one, is an excellent film. It is a masterclass in how to put together a good story. I'm not sure that I even, at my level of skill, and I don't have that great a level of skill, but at my level of skill, I don't know how I would pull off an amnesia story in a role-playing game. I mean, I guess I could just slowly drip pieces back in. I mean, I've seen some games like where they start you as an average person, and then as you go along, you discover and get abilities. And instead of it being, hey, I'm acquiring this ability by grabbing this special sword, it is a thing of you grab the special sword and you realize, hey, I've had this ability all along. Forgive the yawns. I just got done running a 4-hour Harvey's Heroes role-playing game for the Savage Worlds Halloween 4 event. Now, this year wasn't very well attended and it wasn't very well advertised, but all of my games filled right up. And then one person dropped out of one of my games, but still, all of my games filled. And it was great. I ran Knights Arcanum on... going back a little bit. On Thursday, I ran East Texas University, The Curious Death of Violet Evans. And that was pretty intense. And that was at my friendly local game store. So I couldn't run a game for Halloween on Thursday, which I usually do. Usually run Chickens in the Mist that night. And that's an important one. That's one that kind of got me going. But next was the next one is I ran on Friday Knights Arcanum. And I ran that last week, Saturday, and it's a blast. It's a great setting. I thoroughly love it. I compliment my friend Brandon on an excellent job writing this thing, and I hope that he's writing the rest of the setting. And I will definitely play it. Then yesterday, I ran another East Texas University one called Movie Night. And that is, you guys are just taking a break from all the paranormal stuff, all your studies, and you're going to go see a movie. And it costs the same that it did in 1939 to see Wizard of Oz. But there's a little boy there that's his favorite movie, and he's there to see it. He convinces his mom to drop him off. He gets given a $20 bill to buy popcorn and drink from an old man who said, "Oh, I saw it here when it first came out, when I was a very little boy." And he's excited. Little boy's excited to go see it. But the other thing that the old man gave him was a wish in a ring. And it turns out the old man is not who he says he is, and the ring is a cursed ring. And when the boy wishes that the characters of the Wizard of Oz were real, they come out of the screen, and they are real demons, and you got to fight them. So and that was possibly one of the most fun games I have ever played. I had 2 guys playing girls and 2 guys playing guys. And that's another thing about role-playing games is it doesn't matter. You're playing whoever you're playing. I had a guy play a girl in today's Harvey's Heroes game. And it's okay. Because sometimes you do. And it was so much fun yesterday. That East Texas University game will go down in history in my mind as one of the best games I've ever run and one of the best games that I've ever seen played. I really wish we could have recorded it and I could have put it up here because it was that much fun. We had a guy playing the jock, Jason. We had a guy playing the girl, Melissa. She's a cheerleader. We had a guy playing the guy, Gilbert, who's a gamer, and a guy playing the girl, Gertrude, who was a geek. and they all went to see Wizard of Oz together. And the guy playing Gertrude, he knew the books of the Wizard of Oz really well, and other people knew about the movie. They'd all seen it, and we were able to play off that and create a collective story that was so perfect. They even, when they were standing in line out in front of the theater, and Jason was talking about how he'd lost a girlfriend over the summer, and it turns out that he and Melissa had gotten together the year before, and they were bantering off of each other and back and forth. And there were so many bennies thrown in that game. I threw bennies for making me laugh because I was laughing so hard because it almost felt like a real movie about going to see Wizard of Oz as a movie. And then the boy wishes for and the demons come out and they're fighting four demonic flying monkeys and the Wicked Witch and even a jitterbug, one of the possessed trees, or the trees that have the apples and that attack Dorothy and them. And it is one of the greatest games that I've ever run. And yeah, after 4 days and 15 hours of running role-playing games, I'm definitely tired. So again, apologies for the lots of yawns, but hey, that's what was worth it. So I hope that you get comfortable enough with your game mastering that in the end, you're going to be able to have game mastering days like that too. That's what makes it all worth it. Today's was fun. Not one of the games that I've run in the past 4 days has been a bad game. I really don't feel that I've had a bad game in a while. And I hope I don't have any more. But we all have our off days. And I'm going to probably do a short video this week about having an off day. But until then, remember that this world is a better place because you are in it. It doesn't always get better. And you don't leave it yourself. It doesn't matter what kind of struggles you're going through, it does get better. I never thought it would. I didn't think I'd live to be 46, almost 47. I'll be 47 on Thanksgiving Day. I didn't think I'd live to be this old. Or I didn't think I could wait to live to be this old. But in the end, it's been one of the greatest experiences of my life to stick around and find out that, yes, it is worth it. And I love you. You're amazing. And you are the most special person that is you in this whole world. You can always do better. You can always be more. And if you can't right now, stop and just say, I am where I am, but I can hold on just that much longer because I have faith in you. I believe in you. So go out and do it. Until next time, I hope to see you sitting at my table. This is Mason signing off.